In this tutorial, we're going to talk about rules and good practices that allow us to create good compositions. The first rule I'm going to talk about is the rule of thirds, which is the rule of thumb for any composition, whether a photograph, a painting, a design work, a poster, and so forth. And the rule of thirds basically suggests that if we divide a composition into 9 equal parts by 2 equally spaced vertical lines and 2 equally spaced horizontal lines, and place important elements on these lines or on their intersection, our composition becomes more energetic and interesting than centering the subject would. So in this example here, like the frog that you see, the question is, have we applied the rule of thirds or not? There's a great tool in Photoshop that we can use to find out, and that's the crop tool. So if I go ahead and click on the crop tool and then try to crop slightly, you will see the rule of thirds placed on your image. So the crop tool in Photoshop allows us to divide our composition into the rule of thirds. These are 9 equal parts by 2 equally spaced vertical lines and 2 equally spaced horizontal lines. So this frog is almost on the third from the left side. I can even crop it a bit more to have the frog exactly centered on that line, and then hit enter. And so this is a much more interesting composition than just having the frog centered in an image. So I will hit Command Z to go back to the way we cropped the image and placed the frog on one of those lines, whether the vertical ones or the horizontal ones, since the frog is the important element in this picture. Let's look at other examples. Right here, I have the image of this horse again, and obviously in this image the important element is the horse. Let's go ahead and use the crop tool and see if the horse is centered. So this is an amazing image. It's much more powerful to place the horse on the thirds rather than centered within the space. Another example to look at is this image of this lake. And actually, I can see from now that the meeting of these two hills at this very point is actually the left third. So the image is a strong image where the rule of thirds is applied. We can also make another change. Obviously, the image is beautiful. We don't have to do anything further. If we wish to make other changes, maybe we can change the dimension of the height by trying to meet the horizon line, the horizon of the lake, with the lower horizontal line of the thirds, and then hit enter. So this is another nice dimension, right? Because we have on the left vertical line, we have the meeting of the two hills, and on the lower horizontal line, we have the horizon line of the lake. This is another example we can work with, and it's basically the image of a lioness and a cub, and they're centered in the image. What can we do to make it more interesting, more dramatic than having them centered? Again, we'll take the crop tool and try to put these important elements on one of the intersecting lines. So we can do this. We can do it from the right side as well. What I'm trying to do is have the right vertical line pass through the center of the lioness, something like this. Okay, and then hit enter. So I believe this is much more interesting than having the lioness and the cub centered within the image.